Money. Talk to the people. They got hair. You already know. MVP. Oh, say it again. I don't think they heard. MVP. MVP.
And we are back. It's your boy Castro for Triple P, the Philly podcast. So we got some interesting words from Miles Sanders, basically saying he's gonna have an MVP type season. He's ready. He basically posted a quick little 20-second video or something like that on the gram and saying that he's ready. He's ready to go. How realistic a MVP season is, especially for a running back, it's not very realistic. But I love the energy. So we're going to go over his rookie year. We're going to go over what his next year should look like, his sophomore year. Hopefully no sophomore slump. And we'll see if an MVP season is maybe really in his cards. I mean, he did say he want to be Christian McCaffrey, so we'll see. But stay tuned. We got that and more. On Triple
How
P.
important those last 4 games were, the little run that we came on, and just knowing that we had to win those 4 games in order to get to the playoffs. So we had to go 4-0, and they were all divisional games, so they weren't easy. We played the Giants twice, which doesn't matter the record or anything. The NFC East is tough, especially defensively. So I think those 4 games were pretty big, and I stepped up pretty well. You know, they asked me to do a lot. They like to find ways to give me the ball, and I've been doing well as far as each game is getting better and better at it. So,
Go ahead. Did you surprise yourself? Because obviously you played somewhat in Saquon's shadow at Penn State, and it's hard to know what you can do at the next level. Mm-hmm. Were you saying, "Wow, I can do this"?
No, not really. I've been doing this my whole life, you know, and I've just been getting better. I think I have yet to play my best football. I think I got a lot of stuff to improve on, and that's what makes it so special and exciting, that my ego just to get better each day, and that's why the vets love me at the Eagles. So, and I get it from them, you know. I walk in the huddle and I see guys like Zach Ertz, you got Alshon, you got Deshaun Jackson, you got this all-pro offensive line, you got Carson right next to me too. So. And they demand greatness, and it just makes you want to be great. And then I got Darren Sproles in my running back room in my ear, just giving me knowledge and just watching him work, and it's just exciting. Mm-hmm. I mean, my goal is to definitely be the best, and like I said, I think I had a strong rookie year, but it's just a blessing being talked with those great running backs. You know, with my boy Saquon and Zeke, those are probably one of the top running backs in the league. So it's a blessing just being named with them and being, you know, just mentioned with them. So.
My man Booby. I'm probably gonna have to put an explicit tag on that now because I said that, but Booby Miles, man, Miles Sanders. No lack of confidence, and I love it. I followed the kid for a while when I'm a Penn State fan as well. So when he was behind Saquon, I kind of knew we had a good kid coming out. Penn State just has been lately kind of developing great running back rooms. Obviously Saquon, but even now they got Journey Brown. I think Ricky Slade is leaving, but even him, he was, I believe, the #1 prospect when he came out of high school. So they're just, you know, kind of becoming a running back a little bit. So you can see where he gets his confidence from. He is a Pennsylvania kid, if I'm not mistaken, and his work ethic is crazy. So I can see where he gets his confidence from. It's definitely warranted. And, you know, from the whole MVP statement, I'm sure you can hear his confidence. But to get where we are, you obviously have to start somewhere, right? So we'll look back when he got drafted. I'm going to go on the record and say I was one of the main people saying that I hope that we get him. I know Deuce Staley was ecstatic when we finally did draft him. They did like that little prank on him, saying that they drafted someone different. I kind of want to know who they said that we drafted, just because if it got Deuce mad, like, it'd be kind of funny. But either way, but in his rookie year, he broke all kinds of records and didn't even start most of the year. So, you know, it's crazy to think what he could have done if Jordan Howard wasn't there, even though Jordan Howard did great in the beginning of the year for us, was a very, very big weapon for us in the beginning of the year. But he did have 818 rush yards, 1,327 yards from scrimmage, which actually led all NFL rookies. 1,600 plus yards all-purpose, and that was actually a rookie record for the Eagles. So that right there, I mean, that's pretty crazy. And like I said, again, he didn't even start every game. Didn't even play every game. I think he played maybe 13 games. And then the 1,641 yards is his all-purpose yards exactly. That's actually the most by any Eagles player since 2013. It's not just like any rookie. That's not any, random stat. That's pretty impressive. We've been lacking a big playmaker like him for a while now. And since 2007, he's actually only one of 3 rookies to have at least 1,300 yards from scrimmage, 300 of those being receiving yards as well. The other 2 are Kamara and AP. So you're in some pretty good company there. So, for him to say he's going to be an MVP, it sounds crazy just because it's hard to do in the NFL. Usually it's kind of reserved for quarterbacks, I should say. But it's not, it's not insane. It's not impossible. If he can contribute to the passing game and the running game, kind of a la like a Christian McCaffrey. He's been saying he wants to be more like Christian McCaffrey. If he's getting that type of usage, it's not impossible. It's still going to be very hard. It's still very unlikely, but it's not impossible. He can do it. Last year, he was also 4th among all running backs, not rookies, just all running backs of plays of 20 yards or more. He had 13 last year. Again, a big playmaker for the Eagles, something they've sorely lacked for years now, years upon years. So it's really good to get that, and it's really even better to get that in the second-round rookie. So Miles has every right to say that he feels he can have an MVP-type season. And then when you hear him talk when he was on Skip, that's the clip that I took from Skip and Shannon, you can hear he just wants to keep working to be the best. He doesn't really care about, being compared to Miles. Saquon. I'm sure he's kind of tired of hearing that comparison because he's been hearing it since college. Even before his senior year, before Saquon left, I thought he was going to leave. Thought he wasn't going to, really want to stay behind or, finish his time in Penn State, but he showed his loyalty, still get out, and, ended up getting picked in the second round, which is pretty awesome for him, especially in that draft. I don't think there was many. I think there might have been one running back drafted in the first round that year. I'd have to look that up. But either way, he was huge for us. Whether it was the Dallas game. The Dallas game probably was his best game. The second one I'm talking about, obviously when we won, not when we lost, 17-9 against practice squad players. Good job, Dallas. We're all proud of you there. But that game was just crazy. I mean, he was doing everything, even pass protection. He just, you could see the culmination of everything that had perspired that year. From game 1 to game 17, you could see a huge, spike in just knowledge, just the awareness of, being on the field and what he's supposed to do, what his job is, following blocks, even in the change of speed, becoming more of a passing weapon, which was huge for us. And then I'll never forget that huge stiff arm on the Cowboys cornerback when he was coming out. I want to say it was in the second quarter, but just he had a lot of huge plays. And then you have people like, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, you have Greg Ward on the outside, so you're not getting any help in that aspect. So they're not, the safeties and cornerbacks aren't backing up, afraid of, our wide receiver threats. So you're getting 8 in the box every time, So he definitely, opened some eyes. I think the Eagles knew exactly what they were getting when they drafted him. I think that was a home run hit. I get nervous about him doing too well because I know we don't like to pay running backs. So, being a Penn State fan, I would like to see him being on the Eagles for a little while. We don't have many Penn Staters. We used to have, Steven Wisniewski, and he went to Kansas City. So, it's nice having a Penn Stater on there every now and then. And if you look at his touchdowns, and his yards. He honestly could have probably did even better. You know, like you think back to, I want to say the Dolphins game. I want to say there was a couple in the was it the Seahawks game? There was a couple games that, you know, Wentz just underthrew him on simple wheel routes. And, you know, it's crazy how open he gets on wheel routes every single time. Like, I don't know if people just don't see that we do that literally like 10 times a game, or if he's just that good at route running or that fast or that shifty. I don't know. You know, he's a magician. He just gets open on wheel routes like it's nobody's business. But there's been times that, you know, I want to say at least 3 times pop in my head that he was wide open for a touchdown. And Wentz just either underthrew it, overthrew it, or just didn't see